Oh yeah, sorry guys. Today the 22nd of March 2022 guys. Just a random pick of a poem. I've seen some nice ones here because I'm reading out of a random choice. So it's not like I sit down and break down things, you know. Sorry guys. Oh, buddy. So I'm gonna pick a short one and we break it down. So about reading, you know what I mean? So they're pretty much some short ones. Yesterday we did a long one, and today we can give a go at a shorter one, so that we can have a bit of a discussion. And yeah, let's try this one. That's on page 32. Remember the total quagmire about the COVID? Yeah, that's page 33. But page 32 we have the titled poem called Corruption is Murder. What's corruption? If somebody says you're corrupted, you corrupted my mind. let's think outside the box. How do you see corruption in terms of a nation state? Quote unquote Uganda, quote unquote Kenya, East Africa, whatever. Hello, miss.
Hello, how are you?
Beautiful weather.
Yes, indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, you done your walk? It's finished now?
Yes.
Okay, have a nice day.
And you?
I'll see you Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah, sorry about that guys. You know, she's my friend and we have a rapport. You know, we kind of have a time out here and have a chat. But she saw me doing something, you know, so she excused herself. But let's carry on with this conversation. As ever, you know, the conversation continues. So don't ask me questions. Okay, Gus, why aren't you wearing your glasses? Why aren't you covered up? I want to look into your eyes and page 32 guys, let's get there. It's a very short poem and I'm going to read it in one take. I read this poem out for you guys. Then kind of going deep into it, and then I see what comes and goes. Sorry, I'm reading a poem, eh?
Good for you.
Yeah, and you know I do the recording so that.
I mean, when we were young, we used to do poems, or we used to just read it. But now you can put meaning and understanding into it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you Thursday or Friday.
All right then.
Okay, my brother.
Right.
I appreciate. Yeah. Same old, you know. It's a gentleman. I told you he's retired. You know, we meet up here and we talk a lot about life. So that's about anything, you know. It's not always limited to one thing or the other. Anyway, the poem is on page 32, guys. You see what happens? In between everything, always something comes up. Don't blame me. Okay. In the long quiet night, interrupted by beeping and flatlining machines, 32 patients die. Are we there? That's just a sentence. So we know where we are at now. We're in the hospital. Pretty much. There's no missing about that. We're in a hospital. And it's a life or death scenario. So When oxygen supply machines malfunction, distraught families take their dead away from the stacked up mortuary. Who supplied the dysfunctional machines? Question mark. Many ask. The police are mute. Anti-corruption agencies are mute. Attorney General is mute. All aware that corporate manslaughter on a grand scale has been committed by untouchables above the law. What are we talking about here? What is Victor driving us at? Let's question him now. Let's break it down in this thought process. So we have a hospital, machines breaking down, with a count of about 32 people dying when the machines have malfunctioned. Are we talking about COVID here? Was this the scenario he's trying to paint? The conversation continues. Let's get real here, you know what I mean? We're dealing with facts. But behind that, he references the untouchables in capital letters. There you are. So the bottom line, if you're on page 32, check that out. So, has corruption been legitimized in form of corporate greed? Because you can have a situation where things are passed under the table. Things are sanctioned as the right things, but beyond that, we leave everything in the crossfire of failings. So if you ask me to explain corruption, it's an endemic failure of a system. Policy frameworks are stripped under. Because if something has checks and balances, come on guys, then everything is held to account. So Victor summarizes that, quote unquote, is that murder. So that's a crime. It's a criminal offense to be corrupt. You're taking what doesn't belong to you rightfully. Because what you have to remember, a system of governance rotates around extraction of resources, extraction of wealth for the interest of the nation or the public. So,
Patrick, how are you today?
I'm good, everyone.
You still just checking.
I've just done my run, buddy.
You still always trying. You have moved from that position.
Yeah, I love it.
It.
There's a magic spot. I think maybe it's a lucky charm, isn't it?
Is it? I'm going to put super glue in it there one day.
Correct. A nice man.
So you can't move.
Always good to see you, my friend. Have a nice walk. This is your son?
Yeah.
Out of my he's very much a good friend of mine. We talk a lot.
I got no friends. I can't afford.
You see?
I can't afford friends.
I'll see you when you see me. But you're good.
If you want to know anything about jogging and running,
okay.
he's the man. He does about 10K every day.
We shall catch up one time. Okay?
Yeah.
And have a good run. My name is Patrick. What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah, nice one, yeah.
He's always hanging around the shop.
I'll see you when I'm here 2 o'clock. I'm here. That's about.
I'm here every now and again when I come up, finish up my run up there and I just walk across because
anytime.
I say hello to Daisy most times.
Oh, yeah. All right then. Have a nice time with Pops.
Yes.
I'll see you around. Good. Yeah. Yeah. There's a long one here. We became friends just like that. The trolley ran out of battery during the winter, and I helped push him with the wife right up to the doorstep. Very interesting. And ever since then, they kind of became part of me, you know. It's a nice gentleman. Anyway, that's the side of the other coin. Because I remember I told you this is my territory, like they've said. I'm super glued here. Is it true? Probably you've observed that. So we have a quagmire of COVID coming next on page 33. So I think if you have the book right now, you pretty much are brought in closer to the subject matter. So that this is a technique Victor has used, I think he's trying to kind of give you a ringside, kind of bring you in and dig you into what he's trying to build. So, was corruption instrumental in many situations that were just about and about? Or were they already symptoms of a failing healthcare system in Uganda? The question is, who was held to account? The conversation continues. So, here we are in a dire situation, him referencing the sound of beeping flat-lining machines. 30 more patients die when oxygen supply machines malfunction. Talking of machines that keep you and sustain your life. That sounds like intensive care unit, acute. I'm familiar with hospital environment and the situation of how challenging it can be when you really need that critical care, to care for a loved one, to kind of be there for a loved one, and now the machines are malfunctioning. So in the cross line of things, you pretty much are looking on. Food for thought. So if the book itself is really much something I'm missing about, I'm just, because you bring yourself into a situation and then you bring yourself out into a situation and you are in between. It's called a crossfire. We all have loved ones, we all have friends, we all have people we care about, but in terms of health, we are all subject to whichever is the provider at the time. If I'm in Uganda right now and I fall sick, with all this in mind that the machines are going to malfunction, where am I going to run to? So let's go back to page 32, guys. So I'm bringing this together with the COVID quagmire, and that would also match more or less reference the poem yesterday we discussed about 1984 Pandagari. Why? We're talking of fear. Are you scared of something? You're scared probably to fall sick. You're scared when you go to hospital. Because if the hospital is in the hands of the government, say example, the National Referral Hospital, quote unquote Mulago, quote unquote Kirudu, am I in good hands? Come on, tell me. Let's play some music before we wrap up. So the discussion today, this was just a random poem, I'm telling you. I didn't even think twice about what I just dug into one and said, so that makes everything authentic. Because that's what people want to see. They want to listen to the book with that rawness. If I was to sit down and write up things, example now, I used to write my schedule for my workout. Reverse couch, air chop, shoulder tap, extended arm raises, seated rotation. But I had to toss this in the bin because it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working. So the same would apply with a system of governance. As Uganda Tales, the book by Victor Rumanyika. So this is how we are rolling now. We shall use this similar technique. I pick out a poem randomly and just jump on it and have a conversation as it is, as it were, as it was. The conversation continues. Here we go. I need somebody, body. So that's how we are. But get the book now, because I'm tired of this kind of, I'm struggling here, you know, I'm struggling a little bit. Munyambe kumgambe wa Kegos, we love you, you know. You're doing some justice to Victor's book. It's not a usual thing for writers to have their works kind of read out like this in public. They want the reader to find themselves in the book. But knowing Kegus, I know I'll go for the run, you know, say, you know, let's have this book and read it and enjoy it. I give you my love stories. Everybody, like, every day you look forward to the storylines. Okay, now I gave you the game of love. Hey, no, they're just random stories I give account to, you know. But that's how it is. So, I'll check with Victor to liaise on other ideas he wants me to bring in. Can I change the location? But I think this works. It's rustic. It's everything, you know. I don't know what he wants me to do next, but this is what, let's stick with what we know best. The Uganda Tales book, Rumanyika Victor. The conversation continues, right? I'm out. Have a nice day, have a nice evening everywhere. And I love you. Next time on Thursday and Friday, same old, and then we wrap the week up. Love you guys.